Hey everyone, I'm a little early, but you guys can start asking questions. I have to get my second screen up real quick. Just give me one quick second. I don't even have music on. I thought I was ready. I just got done filming an episode of the podcast and it was incredible. All the mamas need to watch this one. It's with my best friend from my hometown, Sarah. Let me Where's your camera? Block. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Should probably start there. Can you hear me? Can you tell I like hopped on and thought I was ready and I wasn't? 1 second. There we go. All right. Can you see me and hear me? I just connected that other screen. Okay, perfect. Let me just get music up and then I will stop yapping and start doing readings. So the podcast episode that I just recorded for is going to come out. That was not smooth. It's going to come out on Friday. So please watch it, especially if you are a mom. It is, I think I cried like 5 times. I think I successfully hit it like 3 times. But okay. Let me go back up. Why does that look like that? Okay. We'll deal with that later. Will I purchase the vehicle I'm going to look at on Saturday? Is it the right choice? I feel like you end up going a different direction where you can get more bang for your buck, is kind of how I want to word that. A lack of final decision with the judgment in reverse. And this moved. Hold on. Should I go for a management course? Should I go for management course? I just feel like maybe the timing of something is off. Would going for that course, would that temporarily lessen your pay because you're getting less hours in order to do that? Something along those lines. Or stability, like home work life balance, something. I would wait a little bit if possible. Am I going to get the job when I go for the interview? I feel like there may be a bit of a delay. There may be like a secondary interview or like you're not far enough along in the process yet. What's the likelihood that you'll end up working at that place? I feel like it may be enough of a delay that something else comes along in the meantime with that Page of Pentacles reversed. Are there any messages from my spirit guides? It kind of feels like, you know how sometimes, what's an example? A deeper wound will show up as something else. So like a fear of failure will show up as quick annoyance or something like that. I actually feel like that may be kind of what this is pointing to. Be mindful of little snapping from one mood to another type things. It's not about what happened in the moment, it's something deeper. And once you fix the something deeper, heal with something deeper, those little annoyances won't feel so heavy. What am I not seeing? Change the song. What am I not seeing? I'm Still Standing by Elton John is playing. Something in your routine is off. Something in your routine is throwing things off balance and needs to come to an end. It's almost like you're spending energy you don't have on something you don't need to be spending it on. Message and song from my brother. I'm looking at the clock on my other phone. It's 1133 right now. So I don't know if maybe there's like repeating numbers around when you think of this person often. Pinky Promise and the Red String of Fate. Interesting. The thing I loved most about our time together was when I could find the dice. Did you like board games? Why did I just say that? I usually just think of those things. Um, the thing I loved most about our time together was the laughter that made ordinary days special. Would he be referencing like a board game or like a family night? Like that's the vision that's being painted in my mind right now. Thank You for Loving Me by Bon Jovi. Thank you for loving me when I couldn't figure out how to love myself. Will I be moved to teach high school or will I continue to teach in middle school? I feel like you're wording this like you want to go to the high school, and I feel like that's what this adventure is. Adventure that leads to celebration. Unless the only way it wouldn't be that is if you're like, I really don't want them to move me to high school, then this is like a new adventure where you're already at because this is a celebration. So I feel like more than likely you'll be moved because I feel like that's what you want. And that's what that would be representing adventure wise. Will I look more into R or G when she's born at the end of June? Will look more like R, more like G. Would R be the mother? I feel like G. But this is interesting because it's almost like at first G and then balance because the mother's on the board or the other person's on the board. It could be the father. Maybe that's why it's reversed. But it's like at first the baby looks like one of them, and then over that first year or two transforms into the other one and then starts blending as the two of them. Like very drastically different. I don't know, maybe hair and stuff will play a role. Why did this move me? Hold on. Message from my guides. Message from my guides. It's giving hurry up and wait, but like a message to be okay with hurry up and wait. Like you're figuring things out in pieces maybe, or there's like a multi-step process to something. Be content with hurry up and wait right now, even if it's frustrating. There's a purpose for it. Message and a song. Layers by NF. Getting in from the cold and in a big bold way. Layers by NF. You're like peeling off a major layer. Whatever shadow you recently faced, and your little picture to me looks like a desert storm. It's like you were stuck in this desert storm and now the wind's going to stop blowing so you can see clearly. So for a minute you're going to be bracing for more wind, but whatever this was, this layer has completely fallen off. You've done the work. Message from guides for financial blockages. What change are you resisting? What chance on yourself are you hesitating taking? And my heater was just like way too hot on my leg. I turned it off. Anyway, it's making me think like there's something that feels, you know how the Please Touch Museum, it has this thing where it's so cold that it feels hot, or it's so cold that it feels hot. There's an opportunity that feels like that, or there's a mindset shift that feels like that, and you feel like if you leave your hand there, you're going to get burnt, but it's actually not going to burn you because it's not hot, if that makes sense. What I'm getting at is there's some kind of major shift that you're resisting because you're attaching failure to it before even giving yourself the chance. Feels like that's where the financial blockage is coming from. I had a dream about my youngest estranged son and his family all night long. I tried to get away from them. What is the meaning? Maybe reconcile. Tried to get away from them. Youngest estranged son. This to me is like, what's that? Like a projection screen of your emotional state right now. Like you're feeling this grief and you're almost the desire here in your dream was for you to be the one that was in control of the walking away, if that makes sense. So it's like you tried to get away from them in your dream. It gives you back that control. So it's almost like you feel then like that separation's not necessary. So it almost feels like it's showing you your desire, but also the wound that's arising that's associated with like a lack of control in regard to the situation. So I feel like if that's the case, you're saying maybe reconcile. I feel like if there's a way that you can take a step towards seeing if that's a potential, I would do that because it feels like your emotions are like, hey, that'd be great. Is there anything we can do to work towards that? A year, I can't. Oh wow, I didn't even realize I had them open for that long. Oh, let's see. Let's get a different deck. Let's use this. Let's use this one. What do we need to know? Addressing self-sabotage patterns. What do your guides want you to know about how you recently have stopped standing in your own way? You're not rushing into decisions anymore. You're allowing yourself to sit and do like a mental pros and cons list instead of rushing forward because of emotion. So I feel like that's coming through to give yourself a little more credit. Will Peter be promoted at his job? Will Peter be promoted at his job? I mean, this looks like that. The Empress in reverse to the King of Pentacles. Promoted at his job. Would it make sense if I said promoted, but not in the way initially expected? Like, I'm expecting to be my boss's boss, but I end up being the boss's boss. Like something like that. Like it's not what is expected, but the promotion serves him well, if that makes sense. A message on how my family is going to come out of grieving all of these people that have passed. Just talking through things. It's almost like everybody's thinking the same thing, and if someone starts saying these things out loud and starts opening the dialogue, where typically before it may be resisted vulnerability, it's like a domino effect in a positive way. It's like each person will start to open up a little more and a little more and a little more. The more you choose to hold things in, the more the next person is, and the more the next person is, and the more the next person is. So it's like a literal domino line. So just starting to have maybe more uncomfortable conversations. Hey, I'm feeling this way today. Do you feel this way? Do you want to talk about it? Anything like that, I guess. However you feel to open that conversation up. Is my oldest son headed for divorce or will they work out? What's the likelihood of what will happen here? It's not like a lack of love for one another. It's a lack of self-love that's just being reflected between the two of them. So for it to work, they both need to first be like, okay, what's my deal with myself? Why am I fighting against myself? Because they're going to keep fighting any actions that would lead to progress if they're subconsciously self-sabotaging out of being in misalignment with themselves. So first and foremost, I feel like it comes from they each are not willing to sit with their own emotions right now, so they can't make progress that needs to be made. I would word it like this. It feels like right now they're standing at the fork in the road. They're not really heading anywhere. if they stand there for very much longer, it's almost like they'll be pushed down the path of divorce, but it's not like they've made that energetic decision yet. So there's time to fix it, but it comes from self-love. Family night for sure. I knew it. I knew it. Let me get another card. And it's 11:44 right now on the clock. Didn't I didn't I say another repeating it? Wasn't that 11:33? Was that 11 minutes ago? Your brother's like, "Hey, I'm here." Here. It's the same card. The same card. Except this time I lost my dice. Did I put it back in here? Oh, there it is. Not a fun day either. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Number 6. The thing I loved most about our time together was the little things that meant the most in the end, like family game night. What a message. I think you really need to go listen to that song because now it's like referenced twice. Thank You for Loving Me by Bon Jovi. And the smell of sunblock. Is there a particular now I put it in the jar. Is there a particular like summertime family game night? Or maybe something you did often in the summer? That's a very direct like I'm not done the message yet. Let me finish. What is the real motivation for Trump pardoning Julie and Todd Chrisley from the reality show Chrisley Knows Best? What is the real motivation? Clarity on logic. It was the clear, logical decision because it was time to what? Oh, Knight of Pentacles, like deal in bad faith. Like it's not just I'm gonna help you out. It's I need something from you because I am type of thing. Messages from your higher self today is your last work day at the horrible job. Going into calmer waters currently because of leaving somewhere that you've been for a while. Okay. I feel like you're having maybe this you know when one emotion pops up and you like kind of push it down because you're like, oh no, that gives me bad feeling. I don't want to feel that. There's some kind of like good nostalgia or like I don't know, something coming up privately that you keep trying to push down. The energy is trying to show you something that you're resisting so that you don't have to resist it going forward. So allow this external transition to also be replicated internally where the waters aren't choppy because of resistance of emotions. Was Higgins flirting with Karen a way to start the unaliving of John? Hmm. I mean, that would be the yes card with secrets revealed. Um, bridge between uh, a student of wish fulfillment. Okay, so what did Higgins learn that he wanted? A release of John. I- That's pretty plausible, I would say. I have justice in reverse on the bottom of the deck. Should I let Nova's usual vet do his ultrasound or the new one he's going to on Friday? Old one? New one. New one. going to the new one. Will he finally get the medication he needs? Yes. No more battling against them. Yes. Confirmation or message on guidance I'm receiving through Oracle and Tarot. Something's guiding you to have like a thought expansion, like popping a bubble that you didn't realize could be popped, almost like you thought that something was just the way it had to be, and the messages that you're receiving now are leading you towards like thought expansion. I just want to word it as like reshaping the way that you're learning. Yeah, breaking away from the past. Trust if it feels uncomfortable at first, but your gut is like, no, it's safe. The message, I mean, allow yourself to sit with it instead of trying to just shut things out, I would say. Which I don't think you're doing. I just think that that's the advice coming through. Any messages for the day? I saw you in Mandy's live last night. Thank you to everyone who came to Mandy's live last night. She's the one I did the remote viewing with, and she's my deck photographer. Okay, messages for the day. Some it's not avoidance to take a break from thinking about things that are often replaying in your mind. Like, you're not avoiding that by giving yourself a day off to be like, no, I'm going to kind of push these thoughts away or give myself a break. It feels like the way that you can do this without feeling guilty about it, what in your environment can be like rearranged? In which way, like what you see every day, how can you shift it just a little so it just gives a little like twirl in the energy? That will have a bigger ripple effect. It's like there's something right around the corner, kind of like spring cleaning, but out external spring cleaning, if that makes sense. Will I get into college? Will I get into college? So 6 of Cups being reversed with the sun. Okay. I feel like allow yourself to think outside of the box as it pertains to what you originally thought you wanted. I feel like there's some bit of you might not get into your first choice. There's some fear around vulnerability here. It's almost like there's a combined lesson here where you don't get what you initially wanted, but what you end up getting ends up being better than what you initially wanted. And it's like this lesson in either detachment or like, I guess this is detachment here. Detachment. So I feel like yes, you're going to get in, but don't freak out if it's not your first choice, because and don't only apply to one either, I guess I would say. Because it feels like what ends up happening is better than what you were fearing losing, is kind of a way to word that. The apartment I want has the same tour and move-in date. Is Promenade still the best option, and should I still try to move in there? Is it still the best option? Yes. Should you still try to move in there? I would not delay moving in there. A battle connected to lack of commitment. So I would say yes, take the first opportunity to go through with that. I don't know if it would like fill up, or I don't know how that works, but message from my guides and a token or a song. Gears. You're starting to shift gears. What's connecting? It's like you're shifting gears because of a release of a projection, or like the Lovers in reverse. You finally embodied the principle of what you are not changing, you are choosing, because you viewed yourself as worthy. So because of that, you're shifting gears. It's like that put you on a different energetic floor. So now you're gonna have different experiences or different healing experiences because you've shifted because of that one decision. Is the path to financial freedom through my Etsy shop, or should I be focusing on something else? Multiple. I feel like that's part of it. What's the other part? Temperance. Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys. Oh, Girl on Fire, Temperance, Temperance, angel being seen as a being of light. Social media needs to come in combination with your Etsy. Even if you're just showing, I don't know, like some kind of trends or something that would include your products. Maybe on TikTok, you can do certain trends and tag your products. Maybe TikTok shop as well. Not just Etsy. Etsy alone isn't bringing in enough uh, non Etsy clientele. So you need that because once that comes in, that will help to also boost Etsy clientele as well because you're getting more traffic from outside sources. So that social media feels important there. And if you already have it and are using it, I feel like that's saying you need to do it more. King of Pentacles. Take it more seriously. Not that you're not, but you know what I mean. My picture you pointed out is a picture of a card you pulled for me months ago. Oh, I love that about an idea of a tattoo for me and my daughter. The sun is dark, not bright. You said it was significant. I love that. Oh, I can see that now. That's from this deck. Yep. I'm pretty sure I know which one that is. Surprised I knew where that deck was on the shelf. Anyway, okay, let's see what the message is here about that. Let's go into the part of the sun is dark, not bright. You said it was significant. Sun is dark, not bright. Higher knowledge. Oh, interesting. The sun is dark, not bright. Knight of Wands in reverse. Has it been a theme in your life where you've learned the most about yourself when you felt like you were left in the dark and you had to be your own light? Which seems like, okay, yeah, everyone probably did. But it feels like you have certain experiences in that category that prepared you to be the mom that you are to your daughter specifically. I feel like that's kind of the connection. That's so cool. I love that. Scott visited me in my dreams last night. Does he have a message? Does he have a message? Imagine by John Lennon. A sports interest. We have a watering a flower. There's a military reference here as well, potentially. I keep, oh, does he have a message? The card is I keep trying to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4. By moving things around when you least expect it. Moving things around when you visited me in my dreams last night. Moving things, visited me in my dream. Kind of operation, the tower. Moving things around. I'm trying to stir up emotions. Does he have a message? He's able to be understood by you more when you're in tune with your emotions and not suppressing them. I move things around when you're least expecting it. The Tower, Queen of Cups. What am I moving around? Your emotions. I'm trying to stir up your emotions so that you allow yourself to feel them. All roads lead home. All roads lead home by Ohanabam. All roads lead home. I'm trying to show you how your emotions are trying to lead you home. There's the message. I'm trying to show you how your emotions can lead you home. Any further clarity on what you are resisting? use that one. Oh, anyone who's been waiting for the Sacred Woundings 1, my stock should be here today. It'll probably be dropped off when I'm at Gavin's haircut since it's raining outside. Abuse wound. What are you resisting? Abuse wound. The sun in reverse and the chariot in reverse, the darkness that's keeping you from moving forward. Would it make sense if I don't know why I'm going in this direction? Would it make sense if I said that being overstimulated for such a long period of time has put you into, I don't know, a position where you feel like you can't feel certain things because you have to keep going, or there's this energy of like, if I allow myself to really just sit with these things, I'm going to be even more overstimulated, and the overstimulation has become the wound, if that makes sense. So I guess I'd say, what are you resisting? In which ways can we start to decompress from overstimulation so that we can get into like a place of safety energetically, if that makes sense? What shadow aspect of myself do I need to work on? And messages from my guides. Devoted ghost, loyalty to a past that no longer exists. Let's see what that's about. Loyalty to a past. Oh, it's kind of the bridge here. It turned on its own. Loyalty to the past. You being honest about certain things that you've gone through, like to yourself, and the role that other people have played, and you allowing yourself to look at these experiences and say, this person hurt me. Does that mean that they're the worst person ever? No, but they chose to play a villain in that moment. And for me to heal, I need to acknowledge that I did not deserve for them to be the villain to me. It's not my fault they chose to be the villain. Because I don't feel like it's anything particular from your past. I just feel like because there hasn't been that flip in perspective yet fully, like I didn't deserve this person being the villain, but for me to accept that, I need to accept that they were the unprovoked villain, right? That allows you to not subconsciously push down triggers from the wound, because that would allow you to heal it. So I guess I'd say working on maybe like just literally writing it all down and then burning it. Like, okay, this is the role. It was unprovoked. And in order to heal, I need to release that type of thing. Message from my guides on how to release financial blockage and heal money wound from childhood. Growing up, was there a belief in the household that money only came if you overexerted yourself, if you worked sun up to sundown, if you couldn't have a life because you had to work? It's almost like a mindset like that. And to some degree, your soul is like, I don't want that. So it doesn't have to be that way, but the first step is rewiring whatever programming your mind is running in regard to that. Ten of Swords in reverse, taking the swords out of your back to put down the burden. I guess I would say release financial blockage and heal money wound. Get very honest with yourself about how you feel about money. A lot of people have been kind of asking a similar thing. If somebody emails me, maybe I'll come up with like questions you can ask yourself type of thing from like a soul perspective. Somebody email me, please, and I'll do that. I'll make it a free spreadsheet thing. Oh, yes. Yes. I always forget to do that. I was doing it. I did it for like 3 videos and then I started forgetting again. Yeah, I'll try to remember to do that. If I don't remember, comment on it and I'll do it when I see the comment. But not the live comments. You know what I mean? The regular comments. Is B truly working on an urgent project or using it as an excuse to secretly run from something else? Oh, I didn't realize that this said that. Hold on one second. Probably confusing everybody. It's my bad. I feel like there's something that not urgent isn't really what this reads as. It's almost like there's something that I never finished up, and now because I wanna kinda escape from the pressure of something else that I'm dealing with, I'm gonna try and finish up or wrap up something that I didn't really go full force into before. The 5 of Pentacles, it's something that maybe it would be late, like, it's already late, or maybe it's not needed as bad as it was. I wouldn't say urgent. I would say working on something, but not explained in the way that it was explained to you. Oh, yes, 70K. I'm working on thank you all for 70K. I'm working on a, little package giveaway thing. Probably next week I will post it. This week's crazy for me. It's both my parents' birthdays. They had to be born on the same week. So my dad's is today, my mom's is Friday. But I'm gonna do something for 70K next week. Is the inflammation in my liver caused by long-term medica? What would be the outcome? What would be the outcome? It's kind of giving like searching for answers and just getting non-answers. Like you keep getting like, okay, well, it's not this. Okay, well, what is it? Okay, well, it's not this. Can you tell me what it is? No, but I can tell you what it's not. It kind of feels like that. Like you are on this and maybe that's what's already happening, but it feels like that's going to continue to be happening. I feel like the search for answers, 3 of Swords kinda makes me think of some kind of surgery. The search for answers leads to some kind of surgery, or some kind of procedure or some kind of, but not full commitment. What would be a non-surgical treatment route for something like that? Like, maybe inpatient for a couple days or something? I don't know, but not worst case scenario surgery. And I feel like it comes after frustration with looking for answers. Oh, by long-term medication. Was it caused by that? Okay, hold on one second. Was it caused by long-term? So those are the okay, let me reframe that. It feels like that plays a role, but it's very difficult to prove. That's why that wasn't all the way like coming out correctly. It feels like it plays a role, but it's very difficult to prove it. I am. I am engaged since 4/3. I'll post a picture. I meant to get around to that too. Will the contractor we hired 3 weeks ago ever show up? And if so, how long until the job is completed? I feel like this is someone you're gonna have to put additional pressure on. It's almost like, "I'll come if you make me," or like, "I'll get around to it eventually unless you put pressure on me." How long until the job is completed? Longer than you'd like. But again, if you put pressure on them, they may speed up. I I feel like maybe this contractor is someone who has overbooked themselves, and this kind of reads to me like I go towards the person that's complaining the most because I've overbooked myself and I can't get to everyone at once, so I go to the angriest person first. It kind of reads like that. Which I worked at as a construction manager before, so that's nothing crazy out of the ordinary. How will Grace feel when Dan and I tell her our news? How will Grace feel? Happy for you? Happy for you, but hiding emotions? Maybe on the situation, depending on the situation, this may read like happy for you, but slightly emotionally triggered. And that can be because of the news or because of what they feel like they're lacking, and the news brings that up, if that makes sense. Should P stay at her current school or go to homeschool? P stay at current school, homeschool. Why is that reversed? Could there be homeschool with a combination of some kind of social element, that maybe like a book club or something like that? I would say I'm leaning towards homeschool, but not if there's not some kind of social element also included, because this 9 of swords in reverse over the 4 of cups in reverse to me is like there's a fear about, like, I guess, emotional intellect, like with other people, like being in line with them. So I feel like as long as there's a social element, then yes. I guess I would word it like this. It feels like P learns best emotionally by witnessing. So like I know how to deal with this because I saw that girl deal with it, or I know how to interact in this way because I saw them do it. So I feel like as long as there's that element, then homeschool feels to be a good option. Thank you, Amy. I'm gonna go to the other list in 1 second. Does Jack the Beanstalk and Fairy Crystal Stickman visuals on your deck give direction towards location for Jack and Lily? Jack and the Beanstalk and Fairy Crystal Stickman visuals on your deck give direction towards location. Towards location. I did say about edge of water over and over, but they're both reversed. There's some connection, but it's not location. Is it a marker of some sort? Like a judgment? All edge of water, outbreak. More so a marker than direction, if that makes sense. A marker of some kind. Because judgment would be like it's right there in your face type of thing. I plan on using my 2.5 months off to reset, heal, nurture, and work on my school teacher wellness workshops and social media. Any insight to that, outcomes, or other messages here? Overcoming the wall. Overcoming the wall and fear. Could you do some kind of just like behind the scenes lives, or putting together lives, or like getting community interaction here? This is like I don't know, I guess overcoming a potential fear of not having control over things flowing the way you want them to, I guess, but allowing them to flow in a direction that's like buildable within community. 16 months, holy crap. Okay, let me see. Getting confident at showing the building up of something. To me, that is, let's hop on live and build community while you watch me do this, or I get input. How would you best learn? That way, it feels like not only will that help the social media element, it will also help build the teacher wellness workshops. It will also help you with healing, nurturing, because you're showing yourself in action, you know, in a healing way, I guess I'd say. How is Jose energy wise? Will he evolve and grow? As long as he keeps in tune with allowing himself to feel and not putting himself back out of touch with that, I feel like this is very positive. This is like coming out of the darkness into the light because I'm in tune with my emotions and now I rise. Now I ascend. Now I'm in a higher vibration. So I would say yes. Message for love. Message for love. You're finding your way back out of the maze because you're no longer fighting yourself about not having all of the answers. You're allowing yourself to take steps forward without having all of the answers, and that's why it feels like progress is speeding up in some ways. And it may be why things in other areas felt to come to like an abrupt halt. That's because that wasn't gonna serve you, and there's no reason to even entertain it anymore. So if things are moving forward, it's because of that. If they've halted, it's also because of that. Reading and a song. Or message for the week and a song. Right now, Fire from the Gods. This can't go on forever. Something's gotta give. It feels like there's something you're intellectualizing instead of feeling. And this is like you take your power back by feeling. Yes, you understand the problem or the wound or the blockage, but when you allow yourself to sit with it and unpack it and feel it, you can release it. So it feels like the message for the week is when it comes up, let it come up. When it starts to subside, let it. Just be the observer and go with the ebb and flow. Are K and L genuinely reaching out or hidden motive? Why are they reaching out? Why are they reaching out? Why are they reaching out? Would they be trying to figure out either one, if there's still access to someone or something, two, I want to test your reaction to something. So either access, reaction, or information gathering. The Knight and the Lovers in reverse is uh, a sneaky decision as to why I chose this because and he's like kind of kicking the one person. I'm being immature. I would be cautious there. Message from my spiritual team with token. What god or goddess's energy is strongest around me? Pop. Soda pop. Truth popping. Not by choice. Truth popping, not by choice. It kind of gives Archangel Michael vibes with Ace of Swords. That's always my Archangel Michael card, like the shield of truth. How is it going to make you feel when that happens? Ready to take action. So it's almost like, when you, okay, here's an analogy. Someone else drops a soda. And if this is literal, please let me know because it will be a little funny. Not at your expense, just at how the guides are bringing it through. But imagine someone drops a soda, puts it in the fridge, doesn't think anything of it. You go to open it, it pops in your face. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I realize I need to do the thing where I tap on the soda from now on just to make sure. It feels like that where something kind of explodes in your face a little bit and you're like, "Oh," not in a bad way or like an intense way, but just a sudden realization where you're like, "Okay, now I need to do that a little bit differently moving forward." King of Swords action or King of Wands action. Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck. Surrender. There's an important lesson in it. Are the birds and bird feather I'm seeing a sign of anything or is it just spring? A sign of anything or is it just spring? Blindfold coming off. So, yes, it's spring, so there's a lot of them, but you're noticing them and they are getting your attention because it's like a sign to look up. Like, what are you missing out on that, you know, winter time, maybe we're a little bit more in our cocoon. Like, use these little hints from the universe to start to kind of I look up is how I would say it. Not maybe not like literally, maybe you're not literally looking down at your phone, but just kind of visually explore your surroundings more because you're going to start to find things you weren't seeing before you were doing that. Am I closer to meeting my life partner since the recent shifts and a song? Call on Me. It's the Ryan Ryback remix by Starly and Ryan Ryback. So typically it's one person. It's two because it's the remix. Call on Me. You're trying to manifest this person right now. Not yet. I mean, are you closer? Yes, but the Knight of Pentacles is like one step at a time. Are you closer? Yes, because every time you grow or heal or whatever else, you take a step forward. But are you sprinting towards this person now as opposed to walking? No, you're keeping the pace because this is the pace right now that's serving you. Two of Swords is kind of giving me your guides being like, don't worry about it. You don't need it'll happen when you don't it's not something you need to decide, okay, now like there's divine timing in play is how I would word that. But I would say not yet. But are you taking steps closer? Yes, you're just not changing the speed yet per se, but that's not supposed to be happening. The speed change. 1 second, I'm trying to find my space. Has my brother decided to stay with his wife? Why or what changed his mind? Mm, I'm going where there's the smallest amount of fight because just can't I don't have the energy to keep fighting. So if right now I feel like it may not be pleasant to be here, but it's less of a fight than leaving, I'm going to temporarily stay here or I'm going to see what happens because right now it's me versus my own mind and I haven't been winning. So I need to stay away from where the bigger fight will be for right now. Could that change? Yes. You know how, like, in battle, the soldiers need to wait a minute to rebuild their strength? It's kinda giving that because there's 2 fight scenes on there. It's kinda giving that, like, me versus myself type thing. So I need to give myself the energy to deal with what I'll need to deal with by choosing that fight if I do leave, if that makes sense. Is Emma looking for attention by bad-mouthing you on Facebook? What is not the card hitting the laptop. The world in reverse. Yeah, it's giving look at me. Oh, it's giving don't look at me, look at you. Oh, don't look at me, look at you. Uh, trying to distract people from something that either came out right before this started happening about Emma's own self, or like I don't want people to find out about something, so I'm going to distract them by poking you. Interesting to use the word poking because isn't that something? Isn't there that poke on Facebook? Anyway, um, trying to distract people from something that Emma doesn't want them looking at. What is up with the messages about Colorado? Am I supposed to be there and why? No. Mm-mm. Spiritual lesson. What would be like either spiritual symbolism of Colorado or maybe like a spiritual site? That the Hierophant, you're not meant to go there permanently, but there's a major piece of your spiritual puzzle or your awakening or your healing. Page of Cups, maybe even the restoration of your innocence. Like I'm able to see the world with clear eyes now because of an experience type of thing. There's something, it gives more symbolism than literal. What in my daily routine am I depleting my energy? Sleeping or trials? Sleeping, trials, trials. This is codependency. So it's almost like you need this amount of sleep to keep up with this. That's clearly disconnecting you from your energy. Trials. Don't stop sleeping. You need to keep sleeping. Your guides are like, don't even think about it. Message for the next week. What do you need to know? You're disconnecting from hmm. You're disconnecting from balance to restore the balance. What are the things that you've been putting off doing, like life-wise? Not in relationships, not in like a grand healing scheme. What's like your day to day? Like I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. It little inconveniencing yourself now. Why did that just turn off? To get things into different. Why did that just go off? Inconveniencing yourself now to get things into order will go a long way. And I feel like that's something maybe you could do over the weekend because it's not plugged in. That's why. See, my guides think they're being funny. Little things that if you take care of them, you don't have to deal with them later. I don't have a light. Okay, let's keep going. 1 second. Let me see what's happening. Oh, I unplugged it. Well, that'll do it. No, it's plugged in. Everything's plugged in. Anyway, okay, so let's keep going. How about a song to play while cleaning? Mm, 1 second. Chant by Macklemore. Chant by Macklemore. I need to change this playlist because it's my gym playlist. And YouTube is probably not going to appreciate that. Okay. I'm going to give you one thing to think about while cleaning too. Maybe not think about, but like consider. What holds energy that you don't need to hold on to anymore that isn't a necessity? Like, what's one thing that you're like, oh, I can just get rid of this and it's symbolic of energy going along with it? Think of something you can find in your house like that. What is the energy of the ant door, aka shaman's door? at Pala to Key. What is the Where's that other deck? Hold on. I guess I'm not meant to use that. What is the energy? What is the energy of this shaman's door? The law of polarity. The moment you judge anything as good or bad, you set the universe into motion. So the law of polarity, what are the two balancing energies here? Okay. Temperance. Okay. So let me see if I can get this. Okay. The energy of the ant door, aka shaman's door. The law of polarity, balance, finding good and bad and good. There's a lion up here, which is fire, which is Leo energy, confidence. We have temperance, which is obviously an angel. So the ant door, ant, very tiny, symbolic of someone who needs to go into the depths of the shadows to find the good in the bad, to ascend. The energy of the ant door would then be showing you a mirror so that you can become confident in knowing that your darker moments prepared you for your ascension. Oh, waiting for your ships to sail in. So now that you're here at the door, it's symbolic of like you can be darn sure that that change has already occurred and you're just waiting to see it unfold. It's giving like you made it to the next level of becoming stronger where other people may have become a victim. I liked that. That was interesting. Can you please do a reading on Enrique Delgado Garcia? He was a mass trooper, unalived during boxing training. Camera was not working or delete it. What happened? What happened? I didn't get what I wanted, and I took it too far. I didn't get who didn't get what who judgment in reverse. Someone who misjudged their opponent didn't get what they wanted in regard to I thought this was going to be easier. So someone misjudged Enrique, thought that he was going to be an easier opponent. Their ego got triggered, and we have this Four of Swords. What led to that? Shows someone in a coffin. The moon in reverse. Secrecy. It's kind of giving someone got triggered because they thought that Enrique was going to be an easier opponent. Enrique was not, or there was some like one upping from Enrique to someone else, and that person couldn't have their ego. Knight of Pentacles exposed because it's too ingrained in what they do for money. It's like if people knew that about me, if people knew that I was defeated in that way or that happened, they wouldn't trust me to be in the role that I'm in. It's kind of given that. When is the best time for me to go on vacation considering money and work? Now, within 6 months, within a year. Now, no. Within 6 months is too soon. Within a year, I feel like you're making progress, knight to the queen, but I don't think you're there yet. So within a year. So that puts us to like mid of next year. What about to the end of next year? To So to the middle or end of next year, so a little bit beyond a year from now, I feel like things will be better in place for you to do that. So if you start putting like a little bit away now, that gives you enough time to save and allows things to be better situated for you to go. Anything else? My annual gas safety check. I feel like I'm being set up. Are you being set up? If you try to outsmart someone, would someone that would be involved in this be someone who would give the energy of like, if you try to show me you're smarter than me, I'm going to show you that I'm smarter than you. It feels like you're not being set up from the start, but there's like a, if you take it that far, I'm going to take it farther type of thing, if that makes sense. Anything else with this check? I guess I'd say don't try to outsmart them then, because you need them on your side to some extent. Codependent, plans falling apart, community. It's kind of giving, I wish I didn't do that if I did try and take it in that direction. I'm not saying you will, but I guess I'd say be mindful that you're dealing with someone who has a fragile ego and doesn't like to be outsmarted or potentially outsmarted. My mouse is not working. Oh, there we go. Message for the week and a song. I like that one. Raise Hell by Ryan Oakes. Raise Hell. You're supported to not stand up for yourself. Like, you aren't required to dole your shine in a situation where maybe it feels like that's putting you in a more vulnerable position. Raise Hell in combination with this is like, don't let them silence you. Don't let them dull your shine. You're getting placed right where you need to be. Avoid the tower by avoiding others' projections. Raise Hell is also like, if your light triggers someone, that's not a you problem. That's something they need to reconcile within themselves. Why am I triggered by this person? Why does this person being confident or speaking on something or promoting a business, whatever it is, why does it make me feel this way type of thing? It's not a you problem. Higher self guided message for my boyfriend for his next career. For his next career. It was always meant to lead to the next step. Right now, it may feel like things are kind of uncertain or falling apart or like a little like, oh, don't know what comes next. Whatever road you were on previously was supposed to come to an ending because you're being placed on the path to kind of get something that's going to be better suited for where you're at and where you're going. So what would be the by embracing this change, you're either showing up for or holding space for or being like the version of you that's not suppressing your inner child. It's like this freedom that you're giving yourself or the freedom you're seeking moving forward is exactly where you need to be because it's releasing the restrictions on either your creativity or creative solutions feels important. Like the change in careers is unlocking what felt blocked or limited in terms of like creative solutions or something in that regard. Ability to form creative solutions. Is Monica resisting healing? What wound does her anxiety come from? Monica resisting. Hanged man is surrender. So it's like I'm not trying to resist it. The Fool in reverse, 10 of Pentacles, I just don't know how. I don't have the tools. Like, and maybe in an instance where you're like, "Hey, look, this is how you do it." I don't know how to incorporate that then. I don't know how to actually embody that is the energy. So am I trying to surrender to this and be like, "Okay, how do I heal this?" Yeah. But I just don't have the tools or I don't know how to incorporate the tools. Um, it's kind of giving like lack of stability, lack of consistent stability causing fight or flight mode. And the anxiety being, okay, when am I going to become unstable again? Or what am I going to lose next type of thing. Okay, I'm glad that made sense. Yeah, the overstimulation. Can't function like myself because of it. That's what I'm hoping to heal and work on this summer. So so maybe that's the thing with like the lives and showing behind the scenes or like just having like chats like that. It allows you to start to build that without putting too much pressure on yourself and further overstimulating yourself. Um oh wow, interesting. I mean, we often heal ourselves by seeing someone else that is dealing with something like we dealt with and healing them first. So that's not wrong. And it's not a selfish thing to do. It's how we spread it. Is my chakras aligned or do I need to work on them? Solar plexus. Solar plexus and crown are something I would work on. Crown, your connection to your higher self. And solar plexus feels like allowing your inner child to like be free, do something creative. For some reason, this little reef thing makes me think of those why can I never think of this? The wine and paint nights or whatever, or like the go and learn how to paint a random scene night, like little things like that could be good for your inner child. You could even do it at home and pop up a YouTube video. Um, I feel like I give this advice a lot. Maybe that's something we could do. I can't paint, but I'm sure a lot of you can't really paint that great either, so we can not paint good together. Anyway, crown and solar plexus. What health issues should I be looking for? It's kind of giving like the tower in reverse is interesting with the 5 of wands in reverse. It's like what you'd be looking for is certain functionalities that almost like don't have the juice to go the same. So I guess I'd say a depletion in energy, a depletion in mobility. Um But with the tower in reverse, it feels like it's not something happening right now, it's something you would know. It's like a if all of a sudden you have a sharp decline, you can't turn your head or you can't stretch a certain way, that would be symbolic of something deeper going on. But short of that, I feel like this is saying nothing right now. Or that's not happening right now, I should say. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Actually, let me pull one of those cards from that deck. Wouldn't that be crazy if that card came out? I think that card is from this deck. I'm actually kind of surprised it's in the box. Right. Yeah, that has to be from this deck. Look at the picture on it. No, I think it's from a different deck. But I already have this one out. I don't know where that one is. In the world, not of the world. Oh, it's kind of similar. But she's naked and she's not, but it's very similar. In the world, not of the world. Look at there's like a river, right? So look at in which ways in the world, not of the world. In which ways you're different from others as it comes to your ability to detach. I almost feel like you need to give yourself that, like, oh, I didn't realize that I had overcome whatever I needed to overcome to make that detachment possible. I feel like if you see the struggle that others have with it versus the way that you've learned to do it, it's going to teach you an important lesson of what you've overcome already. I'm going to find that deck. What deck is that? It's that little purple one. Knock that whole thing over. Okay. Should I meet with Chris again or leave him in the past? Should I meet with Chris again? I feel like it can go either way. I just feel like you need to have your expectations a little bit lower because it just kind of feels like the two of you are not on the same page, right? With certain things. Should you meet with Chris again, I feel like whatever issue you're fearing would come from that isn't going to arise. But should you leave him in the past, this to me feels like you're going to see that almost like you're in different worlds in some ways. So I guess I'd say if you can go into it with low expectations or those expectations, then I don't see why not. But if that's going to pull you backwards, then I would maybe wait. Is the ant door shaman's door connected to Thoth? My instincts are correct. Is it connected? Let's do it this way. Ant door, connection, Thoth. Ant door, connection, Thoth. Not that it's not, but I feel like I almost want to say thinking bigger, like take a step back. Think I'm trying to word this in a way that maybe you would be able to trace it on like a map, right? Not a map of places, but a map of Thoth and similar. Almost like Thoth's best friend. Like who would have Thoth? This is like totally not literal, but just I'm trying to give you like the example I see in my mind. Who would have Thoth as like a guest speaker on their first episode if they had a game show or like a talk show or a podcast, right? This is that. It's like back to the root of Thoth and then pivot a little bit. So there's a connection, but it's not the main. It wasn't Thoth's project, but Thoth is involved in the project. I guess that's how I would word that. What can I do personally to break my brother out of the shell he's put around himself after our uncle passed? It's easier said than done, but leading by example. Six of Cups in reverse. Would there be a way that you could open up to him about where you had difficulty at? Almost like if he's looking at you, not in like a mad or like callous way, but looking at you as like, how's it coming so much more easily? What am I doing wrong? Like what? And not that you're totally fine and everything, it doesn't bother you. It's not that. It's just like you incorporate the tools that each of if you and your brother learned the same tools, you incorporate them very differently. And he's looking at you like, how do I do it like that? Because the way I'm trying to do it is not working that well. And I feel like it has a lot to do with what he's dealing with when he's alone. So it's like indirectly, because I feel like if you try to be like, "Oh, this is how you do it," he's gonna shut down. It's too much emotions. So indirectly trying to directly telling how you, I guess, hold it together when in moments when behind the scenes you feel like you can't. A got into the program on day 8 next to Green Mountains, just like you said. Oh, yay. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, so 8 days, we can take that. What do we need to know here? Patience. Why Ace of Wands in reverse. If A can frame this experience in their mind, like, okay, I don't want to be here for this long, maybe, but each day is increasing the confidence and decreasing the likelihood of repeating anything that led to this, right? So I guess I'd say, this whole process getting A into the program was difficult, was time consuming. The lesson of patience continues. So be as present in the moments as possible to get the most out of it, because every day that you're there, not only are you gaining confidence for out in the world, but you're getting further and further and further away from any potential likelihood of anything from the past repeating. So when the days feel long, look at that as that's how much progress I made instead of that's how much time I'm trapped or wasting or however else the brain will try to reword it to convince us to not like it. You know what I mean? That's awesome. I'm so happy. General message and token. Someone holding a barbell over their head. You're lifting something heavy. You're not letting yourself rest, and it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Or what you're avoiding will continue to get heavier until it's unpacked. Something's a long time coming. If there has been several months or weeks where you are running on empty and you're like, I should probably rest or I should probably give myself a break, and you haven't been doing it, I feel like now is the time where you need to do it. Or it's going to start to have some kind of adverse effect, either anxiety that turns into like body aches or headaches or something like that. Like you're going to soon start to see the external effect of what you've been putting off for yourself that you need. And I feel like it's rest with that 4 swords. Working relentlessly. That's a hard one to reprogram because you learn to admire that. You're like, wow, that person's such a hard worker, without realizing that you're also like, okay, in order to make ends meet, I need to not sleep and work all day, all night. That's something I had to overcome too. That's a tough one because you don't realize your brain's doing it at first. Oh, that's a good way to look at it. Somebody gave advice, instead of trying to manifest money, manifest in a way where you are making sure to ask for things you need money for. So instead of being like, I wish I could have $100, or, I am $100, so therefore I will attract $100. I want to get this person a special gift, or I need groceries for my family. Look at it in that way. That's a good way. It'll take a little bit of like, I don't know. I feel like when people try to manifest, sometimes they feel selfish because, you know, I have this much, why do I want more? Or something like that, or like self-worth wounds pop up. So that I feel like that's a good way to separate yourself from that a little bit. Should I text Blake back? If you feel like repeating the same cycles, if you want the same old song and dance is how it's coming through. So yes, if that's what you'd like to engaged with. I almost feel like it kind of gives the vibes of either you needing to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of a repeating cycle with this person, or you finally seeing things clearly because of their acceptance or lack thereof of the text back, or like the response to it. Message from my mother-in-law, token or song. One second. Who's in my? It's the mailman. Message from my mother-in-law, token or song. Rest is important because you're allowed to pause without losing progress. Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel. It feels like this is referring to like mental rest though. Like you're allowed to pause. You don't always have to be focusing on healing, growth, figuring things out. Sometimes you're allowed to just let yourself be without any expectations, without any demands, without any to-do list. I feel like she's saying give yourself a day like that. Like it doesn't matter everything you have to get done. It doesn't matter all the things there is to think about. Like a healthy distraction, I guess, is how I would word that, is very needed right now, even if it's just for a day. Message and a song. Where did that get down there? Message and a song. I don't know how to say this word. I'm probably saying it wrong, but Coracao, Coracao, by the National Parks. One second. There's a line about a guru in here. Let me get it. No, that's the line it is. When you're the teacher, but you're being taught. When your life becomes a piece of art, when you watch the light consume the dark, when you reach the end and miss the start. When you reach the end and miss the start. Interesting. It's okay to grieve versions of yourself that you don't want to be anymore. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with those versions. It doesn't mean that you're selfish for wanting to grow. I feel like there's this bit of like one foot over the line and the other foot feels to be in quicksand. Like you think it is, but it's not in quicksand. So you'll recognize if you just move that foot forward that the fear of cutting access to past version of yourself isn't going to be something that comes with you. It's something that you're going to recognize isn't a fear. You're going to feel good in the new version of yourself regardless of the versions that you're leaving behind to get there. Why has my principal always been nasty to me? They don't like competition. Um, but it feels like social competition. If you're viewed in a way or you have qualities that are viewed from others in a way that I feel like I'm lacking, I'm going to make it your problem. It feels like that. Squirrels, robins in Paris, linked to Paul Paul's numbers. I mean, temperance. Yes, in a way that you're not even seeing the full picture of yet. What's the full picture we're missing? Protection. Yes, a message of protection in a way that you haven't yet put the full picture together of yet. Which kind of makes me feel like there's something else that goes with that. It's like a squirrels, robins, and then there's another piece of the triangle there that will. Oh, maybe it's the repeating numbers. Something along those lines. There's another piece to it, but yes. Message from my mom. Message from my mom. Stand by Rascal Flats. The love I left behind is still wrapped around you every single day. What is the message that she's trying to make overwhelmingly obvious to the point it feels like it's wrapped around you? Reestablishment of your foundation you will find on the other side of the fear. Um, yes, the path ahead feels uncertain, but it feels new because you've never experienced that before. So of course it's going to be new. You don't want to repeat where you've been, you want to grow. Um, and I also feel like I keep being drawn every time I look down at the card, my eye goes straight to the olive branch. So I also, with this being the Queen of Cups, I feel like there's an extension of not necessarily an apology, but like a woulda, shoulda, coulda that both of you would understand, if that makes sense. Give me 2 seconds because those decks just got delivered and it's torrential downpour. Give me 2 seconds. Sacred Woundings is back in stock. Okay, the first one. Okay. Whew. I do not have a front porch covering. Okay, let me get back to this. Will I be able to help my Maryland bros? How? Would it make sense if I said you are the bridge that brings them back together? Maybe there's like distance that has grown between the two of them that your presence, I'm reading this as brothers. I think that's what you mean. That your presence being there will help them get closer together where they may have drifted apart previously. Have been unable to sleep lately. Any reason? Ascension symptoms 2. What is going on? It's kind of giving like cork about to come off of a bottle. Like Queen of Wands with Queen of Swords to me is like something has been poking you here for a long time, almost like a Chinese water drip that it's not a knife, but it's painful because it keeps happening, right? Allow yourself to just express when this comes forward. It's not you talking, it's your inner child. So basically what I'm getting at is there's going to be a situation that you're just going to start talking kind of like straight from your emotions, but not like emotionally charged, just like almost like your brain will be like, we're not vulnerable like this. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And you just keep going anyway. Allow yourself to do that. It's not you, it's your inner child being like, I'm releasing now. I'm releasing this wound now. So unable to sleep lately, any reason, something's preparing you for that is how it feels. Message from spirit about the tattoo I'm sketching. Very symbolic. This combo to me is like, imagine all of these swords. Imagine this scene is what she's holding in her hand, like looking at it. So it feels like there's like a bigger meaning here. This to me is like lay down and do it. Like, go get the tattoo. This is like how you lay on a tattoo bed and the little tattoo needles. And this is like thumbs up, go. It feels like there's some kind of emotional release tied to the tattoo. And it does look like it's a green light or a thumbs up. What assessment is best for my youngest daughter, Lauren? Psychoeducation or autism or ADHD? Psychoeducation, autism, ADHD. I feel like your mother's instinct is telling you the first one, psychoeducation. But I feel like there's more immediate clarity from ADHD. So I would say if 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 multiple are not possible, I would go psychoeducation because mother's instinct is not wrong, especially with the Knight of Cups coming out underneath of it. But I feel like if multiple are possible, starting with ADHD would be the best option because you're going to get the most clarity of the best way to move forward, almost like in a straight line instead of going in circles, if that makes sense. Are Musk and Trump no longer on the same page? Let's do it this way. Musk, Trump, the page that they're on, if it's the same. Musk, clarity, Trump. I'm going to pull a second card for this, but this to me, Musk is hearing what Trump is not saying, and it's causing an issue. Show me the issue. Lack of connection. Okay. I feel like you're keeping me, Musk to Trump. I feel like you're keeping me out of something, and I'm not too happy about it. Same page or not? Oh, we're on the same page. It's kind of giving Musk saying to Trump, "Hey man, you're not giving me all the information," and Trump being like, "Yep, you're right, I'm not. But it doesn't mean I'm working against you. It just means I don't have to give you everything." It kind of feels like that. Like there's somebody like slowly shutting Musk out, I guess. What is Nicole Kessinger's current energy, and does she fear that Chris Watts is going to turn on her? Does she fear being arrested? Okay, what is her current energy? I tried to show my face on the internet, and now everybody hates me. Oh no, that was Casey Anthony. That's why that came out in reverse. Okay, ignore that part. Nicole Kessinger. Current energy, I feel very alone and like there's no one I can talk to. Does she fear that Chris Watts is going to turn on her? Do I fear him talking? Yes. But do I feel like if it was likely he would have already done it? Yes, because he was already offered, in her mind, she believes, offered something to do that. So is there fear there? Yes. But is there expectation of that? No. Does she fear being arrested? Yes. But it's almost like I don't let the outside world know that. I make everything look like I'm not worried at all, but there is fear there, but it's only on the inside. How will my family respond to me moving? What are their feelings? Are you the first one in your family to leave your hometown or something like that? Um, it doesn't feel like it's bad sadness, but I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's not sadness. I mean, look at the cards on the screen, right? Um, but when I say why, I have the Chariot in the Fool reverse, so it's almost like I'm happy. I know there's no happiness on the board, but the Fool is here in reverse. So it's not that I'm not happy for you, it's just hard to be happy when there's also this heaviness of like what I didn't get to experience. So I don't want you to feel like they're not gonna be happy for you because the Chariot and the Fool are reversed, but it's like eventually they'll come around to seeing it for what it is, but it does feel like there's a lot of heavy feelings associated with it for sure. Token to help guide a recurring inner question I have. Token to help. Trying to get to the bottom. Hold on. Oh, so you have an inner question. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. 1 second. A ring and fire. Commitment to the passion. Commitment to what lights you up. Lack of commitment to what dulls you or dims you. And we have a pumpkin on the other side. Not allowing some kind of disguise to be hiding your light or hiding clarity or something like that. I get the ring and the bonfire also make me think there's something here in like yes or a green light to if it's a question like should I pursue this or should I incorporate this or is this change important? That would be a yes. One second, I'm scrolling down. What question is most aligned for my growth to AA Raphael on Kelly's live later? What question is most aligned? What question is most aligned for my growth? Okay. What is one way I can shine light on? What is one way I can shine light on a lesson learned from when I did not follow my intuition so that I can show myself the power I gained from it? So what is one way in which me not following my intuition allowed me to take back my power when I learned the lesson? They dropped on my lap and the emperor was upright. Definitely by thank you for this, by sharing the podcast. That was my I'm gonna be doing more true crime too, but I'm on to something with the podcast that won't make sense for a couple more weeks, but it's all going somewhere. So sharing that would be very helpful. I think I'm also going to be well, Mandy and I are doing a little remote viewing thing that we're putting together, like a webinar. So that'll be coming up as well. And then I think I'm going to do like a subscribers live one of these days for like an hour, and somewhere in that live, I'm gonna pick someone to be on the podcast um, for one of the first weeks of the next season. So that's all definitely ways. Thank you. I appreciate that. Do I have a karmic debt? Do I have a karmic debt? No, it's like you're paid up. Like, if your paid up was in 2 cards, it would be that and, like, the Ace of Pentacles or something. You just need to, High Priestess in reverse, incorporate what you learn from karmic lessons so that they don't then accumulate new karmic debt. As long as you learn from what you've already experienced, it feels like, there's obviously lessons and growth, but it feels like, I guess I'd say anything maybe viewed as negative feels to be cleared. Let me see. There's no special and unspecial people, guys. I do my best. I have 2 screens going up and a lot of comments. I'm gonna try to get to all of them. Trying to find. I don't even see another comment. I really, Boomer, I don't even see the comment that you're saying I missed. I'm all the way back to 12:02 right now. And it still has not popped up. You can retype your question. You can email me your question. You guys really don't need to. Kind of hurts my feelings when you say that kind of stuff because I'm not picking favorites here. I'm trying my best to go through all the comments. And I try to do them as quickly as possible to get to as many as possible. So if I'm missing you, it's not intentional. There's no special or not special people. I have 2 screens up, and sometimes when the screen moves and I miss something, I'm human, I miss something. So I apologize. If I'm missing multiple of yours, yes, please email me and let me know. We don't need to make comments like that, though. That doesn't make anybody feel good. Message from my guardian angel for the months ahead. Message from my guardian angel for the months ahead. There's certain things that you aren't going to realize were maybe like a energetic or a mental crutch that will kind of be falling away. So I guess I'd say being in observer mode and not taking, I just want to say not taking yourself too seriously. There's some bit of like having fun with the upcoming process as you detach from what may have been like little small crutches here and there that as you disengage from them, you find it easier to move forward. When do you see me recover from long COVID? When do you see me recovering? Getting clarity on. It's almost like you weren't given the most useful information yet. So I'm almost wondering if there's a second opinion that would help in some way. Almost like maybe someone. 10 of Pentacles makes me think of like, we do this more specifically. Like we treat this specific like manifestation of symptoms in this way. So I guess I'd say like more of a specialized specialist may be able to give you information that you may be missing right now that would lead to some kind of clarity. So almost like things get better with some kind of additional solution that you're not getting yet, if that makes sense. I've been working on my root chakra, especially around safety. Any message about how I'm doing? less impulsivity, and more being present with yourself. Six of Cups being reversed is interesting here with root chakra. It's almost like because you are able to catch yourself in the moment when emotions rise, your inner child helps you build. You know how there's that quote, it's like, don't build with someone who's gonna make you carry the bricks by yourself. It's almost like this inner teen version of you is no longer rebelling because there's lack of impulsivity now. And it feels like that's because of the root chakra. So I guess I would say every time you realize, okay, I would have acted like that in the past and I'm not now, it's showing you've taken another major step forward where you're noticing these things. Who was my friend and to me in my last life? Authority and truth about what? Who was your friend and to me? This is like the person I turn to when I can't turn to anyone else. That reminds me, this is like giving me a pep talk to get me back in my power when the rest of the world turns on me. When I can't turn to anyone else, I can turn to this person and they're like, hey, remember your power. So I guess it could be a friend, or it could even be like a coworker that you turned into a friend in a past life, but something along those lines is how it feels. Did I see 5D while meditating, or was it my imagination? The sun popping right out. It's like your guides, Queen of Wands is reversed, right? So seeing beyond the wall, but Queen of Wands being reversed to me is like giving you a vision of it as opposed to like literal, which obviously that's what it would be because 5D doesn't translate the same. But this is like almost like your guides projecting something on a screen to you. So was it your imagination? Not really. It was your guides showing you a little mini movie type thing, I guess is how I'd word that. One second. I'm scrolling through some combo. Any spirit messages in general for me? Any spirit messages in general? You're right about that person's, I want to say, intentions. You're right about that person's pure intentions. Why is that in reverse? Be mindful of fears from the past influencing trust right now. Not every situation is going to repeat in a negative way. So I guess I would word this as, if there's someone right now that you're like, I don't know if I can trust them. I'm not seeing any signs, but I'm just having fear or worry, or I'm replaying worst case scenarios from the past repeating in my head. I guess I'd say give people a chance to show you who they are and then allow your discernment to take it from there instead of maybe worrying yourself about what could happen. I see the Ashley's Dex one. Already meditating. Is someone deleting comments or anything? I don't know what's happening. I only see, because I'd answer it right now. I only see 107 Ashley's Dex I have that one. And then I have, where is it? It said I rewrote it. I don't even know where it went. Now it's gone. There. Oh, I rewrote it at 117. But before I rewrote it, I only have Ashley's decks, and then it's the one before. So please email me, and I will do 2 questions for you since your questions were skipped. But I do not see your questions. They are not showing up. I'm sorry about that, but they're not. They're not showing up. I'm scrolling all the way back up. Those are the only 2 I see. 117. And the other one that I said a couple minutes ago. So email me and I will do the questions for you, but I do not see them unless you want to try and write them again really quick. Yeah, see, I see that statement as our first of the day. I think some of them might not be showing up, Boomer, because there's only 2 I see as well. But email me and I'll do them for you. And we'll have to figure out why that's happening. I watched some of the messages seem to auto delete. It was too fast to be a mod deleting them. I think it's a YouTube thing, depending on the words used. So maybe reword your question, and if there's any, I don't know, potentially YouTube maddening words, maybe put spaces in between each of the letters. I do not know. All right, let me do a couple more, and then I have to hop off. Where am I? Hold on 1 second. Yeah, no, I wasn't saying we're mods deleting them for no reason. I was just saying, like, were any of the mods seeing something that could be misconstrued as something else and deleting it? I wasn't meaning it that way. All right, where are we? Do this one. I'm going to do 2 more and then I'm going to hop off. Message from my spirit guides and a song. Message from my spirit guides and a song. Conquer by High Res. Giving the only way out is through. There's something that when you face it head on, and this doesn't feel like emotions, even though it's Queen of Cups, this feels like a decision that has an emotional component to it. It's almost like you're hesitating to make any decision, but once you make one decision, you don't have to keep reliving the fear of making a decision. It's like taking action in opposite direction of the fear. Will produce more healing than you are anticipating, but it's like you have to make yourself uncomfortable to realize that you're able to handle it. Is kind of how I want to word that. Should C go to homeschool with his sister? Should C go to the homeschool with his? I mean, that's 2 forces working together. That's forward motion. I would say yes. And then I have fulfillment on the bottom of the deck. Yes, but is this the one where I said as long as there's a social element? I feel like 1, that would apply to both of them because this is like the same for each. And 2, I don't think that they are the social element for one another. So it's like there's an additional, even if they both stay together, that's not the social element. There needs to be an additional one, even if they're both together, if that makes sense. All right, last one, and then I have to go hop off. You told me before that Paul was pointing to pictures, and now the numbers and squirrels. Oh, first thought of the FBI suspect maps. Is that important? Is maps important? Freedom, communication, trying to help you reframe freedom, communication. I'm communicating to you a way to free your mind from some kind of battle. I'm trying to help you put it. So we're talking a suspect, which is like true crime. So this is like there's some kind of symbolism in there that helps you put a certain puzzle piece into place. Is how I would word that. All right, everyone, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my mods. I'm gonna post on the community page, but I'll probably also make a video of some upcoming things. The 70K giveaway, the remote viewing class. I forget what else I was talking about. All right, I will talk to you all soon. Thank you for being here.